Hillary Clinton, who has weighed in on this apparently quite controversial project to construct a ballroom on the site of the East Wing of the White House, writing on X, "It's not his house, it's your house, and he's destroying it." John, doesn't Hillary Clinton know how many other presidents have done renovations to the White House? And she would have been at quite a few events where they had to set up tents and so on the lawn because they don't have a dedicated event space at the White House. Can you weigh in on this controversy for me?
Well, I personally know how much Hillary Clinton loved the White House when she lived there, because when she left, she took a bunch of furniture with her to Chappaqua, where her new house was, and she had to later return it. So she clearly loves the White House. And as for other presidents, Theodore Roosevelt, Harry Truman, very popular presidents with the Washington establishment. Barack Obama had a $15 million renovation of the East Wing, and he did tear down things with bulldozers. So the point is, it's not that the renovation is being done, because as you say, putting up tents every time there is any dinner party over about 100 people is very cumbersome and off-putting. So the ballroom will be used by future presidents. In fact, it probably won't be done until after the next president takes office. As a result, the ballroom is going to be used by everybody. It's being paid for by private funds. And there's a tradition that the White House has to grow with the extent of its social responsibilities.
Well, yeah, I mean, as you say, I mean, Nixon put in a bowling alley. Somebody else put in a swimming pool. I forget who.
John F. Kennedy.
John F. Kennedy put in the pool. That's right. And they would have had to do a lot of digging for that as well. It's just unbelievable how much outrage there is here. But hey, I want to talk now about what's going to happen. You say, talking about the future next occupant of the White House. Well, that could be Gavin Newsom, California governor, but he's suffering a setback in some of the early polling. According to the Noble Predictive Insights poll, God help me, Kamala Harris is now at 33% with Gavin Newsom at 13%, with AOC and that transport secretary guy, Pete Buttigieg, following up behind. Now, what is happening here? Is there a chance, actually, that the Democrats might go with Kamala, or is this just some noise around her book tour and all of that?
Well, that would be an interesting choice, because one party would be cheering and the other party would be crying, and you can guess which would be which.
Well, yes, I suppose. I suppose that's right. But do you think?
In other words, they would say, "Bring it on, please. Let's have a rematch." Well,
I mean, look, on this show, we completely endorse Kamala Harris being the Democrat nominee. We think this should be.
I'm a Californian. I know Kamala, and yeah. I think she deserves the stage.
I think so. Let's all get behind the draft Kamala movement. I agree completely. I think we're in furious agreement on that one. Hey, on to just the border issues here. Our old friend border czar Tom Homan has said that he wants ICE to deport more than 600,000 illegal aliens by the end of the year. Now, this comes as the Trump administration said that 1.6 million migrants, undocumented migrants, have voluntarily self-deported. Now, this is interesting to me because some of these numbers, they're actually lower than what Barack Obama was racking up when he was president, and yet there's much more outrage about all of this. Walk us through the politics of why the Democrats are so absolutely wedded to illegal migration as almost a holy writ for them.
Well, first of all, a lot of these numbers are spongy. I don't know how you properly count how many people have voluntarily left the country.
Of course.
I think so with Obama's numbers, we knew that there were a lot of deportations. We certainly know there are a lot of deportations now. I think that the immigration procedures have to be targeted first at criminals, not breaking up families arbitrarily, and encouraging people with the $1,000 or the $2,000 that they're given to leave of their own volition. Now, how successful is that going to be? Successful enough because a lot of people are just going to realize, if they have the assurance, and they do, that should they voluntarily leave the country, that does not mean they won't be allowed back in the future if they follow the legal procedures. That's the key. So I think we have to give people an incentive to go the legal route rather than just throwing them out. It has to be a combination of carrots and sticks.